And good morning again. Here we are, second time. All right, well, we've had a 1 week break. Had a great week last week with the fathers and sons at Christ and Rockies, and back here again this week. We'll be here today and next week, and then we'll take another break, but we'll be here next week. So we are in, of course, we are in the study of one man's journey, and this is the slide we've been looking at week after week to just kind of show us kind of a bookmarker of where we are. Of course, we're down here in the yellow. We're just wrapping up. What we've been looking at is the last words of Jacob. As you recall, Jacob is literally on his deathbed, and his family, his sons are around him, and he's pronouncing words of declaration, of words of testament to his sons, and we're looking at what he's saying son by son. He started with his eldest, Reuben, and then went on to Simeon and Levi, and now we're looking at the fourth son, Judah, and we're in the second week of looking at this. This is quite a long section, verses 8 through 12, and so we're working our way through it. This, by the way, is, as far as interpretive challenges within the book of Genesis, this rates up in there of the prophetic significance of what this means. And so, we're looking at a text that's not, that is, it's got a lot of mystery to it, and there's a lot of different ways people are looking at this. So, I'm looking at some, but I have my opinion too. So my opinion I'm just putting up there with everybody else, but we'll work our way through it. We looked at this phrase last week, 8a, Judah, your brothers shall praise you. And before I make comment on that, just tying it in, why don't we read the text, verses 8 through 12.
Judah, your brothers shall praise you, your hand shall be on the neck of your enemies. Your father's sons shall bow down before you. Judah is the lion's cub. From the prey, my son, you have gone up. He stooped down, he crouched as a lion, and as a lioness, who dares rouse him? The scepter shall not depart from Judah, nor the ruler's staff from between his feet, until tribute comes to him, and to him shall be the obedience of all of the peoples. Binding his foal to the vine and the donkey's colt to the choice vine. He has washed his garments in wine, and his vesture in the blood of grapes. His eyes are darker than wine, and his teeth whiter than milk.
All right, good. Well, there's a lot of enigma in here, and we're going to work through it. And just a matter of I've got the New American Standard up here. And Bob, what text did you read from?
ESV.
The what?
The ESV, English Standard Version.
ESV, English Standard Version. Of course, whenever an interpretation comes out, there is interpretation within that interpretation. So, you notice that some of the words, of course, you guys can't really read the screen, but some of the words vary. We're not going to go in a lot of detail about that, but we want to kind of get the big picture here of Jacob's words to his son, Judah. I've outlined it, these 5 verses, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 5 verses, in a 3-part movement here, a flow. And we looked at last week what I called beginnings. And I tied the occasion of Jacob's birth, Judah's birth, with the 3 prior brothers as what we called a framework of deficit, that Leah, the birth mother, felt unloved, and the first 3 brothers, when they were born, their very names depicted that deficit framework, that feeling of being unloved. Well, within the same context, out of Genesis 29, verses 31 through 35, Judah is born, but something in Leah's head changed, and all of a sudden she named him Judah, which means praise. And so we tied his beginning is within this context of a deficit framework, which his three older brothers demonstrated what that looked like. That's what we looked at last week. What a deficit, when one is working out of a deficit framework, meaning I don't have enough, what does that lead to? That is not true of Judah. And there is then, this flows into the next section that we're going to look at this morning called emergence. He emerges. He doesn't live under this deficit framework and act that out later on in life. He plays a key role within the whole nation of Israel. I mean, within his immediate family and eventually within the nation of Israel. And all of history has been affected by the outflow of this man's family. So, a huge role here, and it's 8b through 9, and that's what we're going to look at today. Here it is, 8b. Your hand, Judah, shall be on the neck of your enemies. Your father's sons shall bow down to you. Judah is a lion's whelp. Cub is correct. A whelp is a cub. From the prey, my son, you have gone up. He couches. He lies down as you've got lioness. That's some interpretation. And as a lion, who dares rouse him up? So we don't want to get caught up on gender there, but anyway, there's the text. Now, I've taken that and I've subdivided that into three primary ideas here. 1, 2, and 3. Verse 8b, your hand shall be on the neck of your enemies. Phrase 1. Addressing Judah in the second direct second person, you. Your father's hand shall bow down to you. So the way I vision it is he opens up his address to his son Judah directly to him, and there's two key phrases. Then he pulls back and comments, and I think the third phrases are supportive of here. He switches to the third person. Judah is a lion's whelp. Judah is a cub. Judah is a cub. From the prey, my son. Now he switches back and directs it to him. You have gone up. Directed. He takes this phrase and applies it to his son. And then 3, he switches back to the third person. He couches. He lies down as a lion. And as a lion, who dares rouse him up? That's further commentary on this. So this statement, general statement, application, and then this is supportive of this. So, we're covering a lot of ground right here, but this is how I'm starting to break it down. What is he trying to say here? And so this is what I've come up with. Think of it as this is the key idea, and this is the third phrase supported. Like here, I've got above the line is how Judah emerges. How he I'm talking about emergence. How is he emerging? What role is he going to play in a prophetic sense? What is he doing? What is happening here? These two phrases. Your hand shall be on the neck of your enemy, and your father's sons shall bow down. Whereas below the line is the supportive drive that drives this. Now, just from my head here, it's like the engine. This is the engine, and this is what emergence looks like through the life of Judah. So here we got authority in both cases. This is authority over enemies. This is authority over his brothers. Your hand shall be on the neck of your enemy. Guys, it's very simple.